begin with a question for the record. Ma'am, would you state your name for the court, please?
My name's Jane Doe.
And could you spell your last name for the court reporter?
D-O-E.
And how old are you?
25.
I'm going to direct your attention to the evening of Saturday, May 12, 2007. Did you go out with friends that evening in Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
And do you recall what time you all gathered, you and your friends, and where you were at the start of the night?
We gathered at my friend Grace and Aaron, their house, at, 8:30, and we headed to go into DC around 10.
All right. And beginning when you arrived at Grace and Aaron's around 8:30, what, if anything, did you have to drink at their house?
We had made some sangria, and so I had 2 glasses of sangria, and then I took 2 shots of brandy with my friend Pat.
And at what time did you go to DC?
I believe we were supposed to arrive at the sushi bar at 10:45.
And was there an occasion going on that you were going to meet at that time?
Yes. One of my friends, Matt's work colleague's birthday party. So we were going to meet them all there.
And we're meeting there at 10:45 at night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you recall the name of that sushi bar?
No, it's on P Street.
What, if anything, were you all doing at the sushi bar?
It's pretty rowdy. We went in and there had a table and there were probably 10 people there. And so they had sake. And so we just did sake bombs, ordering drinks and doing karaoke.
And can you explain what a sake bomb is?
It was my first time drinking sake, and it's, I guess, Japanese liquor or something. And so you have a glass and they fill it with a little bit of beer, and then you put a shot glass of sake. You drop it in it, and then you shoot it.
And approximately how many sake bombs did you all do?
Matt and Pat and I, we all did between 10 and 15.
And do you remember approximately what time you left the sushi bar?
I think it was around like 12:30 or so.
And where did you go from there?
Matt knew a place across the street, like, a dance bar or someplace that I don't remember the name of it at all. But we went in.
And did you have anything to drink, an alcoholic beverage there?
Yes. I had Matt get me a Jack and Diet Coke.
And that has Jack Daniels in it?
Yes.
Was that something called the Pasha Cafe?
Yes.
Where did you go after that?
After that, I didn't know why we were leaving. The guys wanted to leave, and I was fine staying, but they wanted to leave. So we started walking. We went to Fuddruckers is where we ended up.
Did you eat anything at Fuddruckers?
I took 2 bites of Pat's chili, but that's it.
And where did you go from there?
Next door to a techno club called Five.
And is that an after hours club?
Yes, I think. Yes.
Can you describe for the court how you felt at the time you went to this Club 5?
Yes, I was extremely intoxicated. I shouldn't. Yes, I was very, very drunk.
All right. Now, you mentioned your friends Pat and Justin and Matt were at Fuddruckers. What happened with Pat and Justin as you left Fuddruckers and were going to Five?
Yes. Well, Pat and Matt were walking in front of us, and Justin and I fell behind. And so by the time that Justin and I got to Fuddruckers, Matt had already walked next door and went into Five. So I was just there with Justin and Pat, and they decided they were going to cab home. They're like, we're done, you know, too much to drink, too drunk. We're just gonna go home. And I didn't want to.
And can you describe, you described how you were feeling, that you were very intoxicated. Can you describe your ability to walk and how you were doing?
Yes, on the way between the first bar, not the second bar, I guess, then after the sake Japanese place, we went to that one place. On the way to Fuddruckers, the guy was walking, Justin was, Pat and Matt were much further, and Justin was just a few feet in front of me. And then I was running to catch up with him and twisted my ankle pretty badly. Justin came back to help me because I had been drinking so much. I just get a little mouthy, like, I'm fine, I can do it myself. But I couldn't walk. So, Justin sat down with me, twirled my ankle a little bit, tried to see how it was feeling, and then I needed his help to walk. So that's how we got so far behind everyone was, I mean, he pretty much carried me to Fuddruckers.
Okay. Now, after Pat and Justin got a cab, you went into Club 5,
Yes,
and that's still in Washington, D.C., in that same area.
yes, it's on the same street.
Do you remember about what time you arrived there?
I think I'm sorry, I think it's between you know, 2 and 3, maybe even 1:30. I'm not sure. It just really was,
It was late.
it was very late, and I wasn't.
And do you remember whether or not you had anything to drink in Club 5?
Yes, I know. I know I had something to drink.
Do you remember what or who got it for you?
No. And I even know that I had drank so much at the time. I remember thinking I should get a water, but I know that I had a cocktail, which I'm sure was Captain and Diet or Jack and Diet. And I had taken out some cash at the ATM before I went into Five. So
Did you see Matt in Club 5?
I did. I did. Because he didn't know I was coming in I had texted him I was coming in, but he didn't respond. So, but Pat and Justin, I asked them if they were sure that he had walked in there, and they were like, yeah. I didn't want to go in by myself.
So you saw him there.
So I saw him.
What was he doing?
He was dancing.
Do you remember all the events while you were in Club 5? Or how is your memory?
No, no. I mean, it's very like bits and pieces put together. You know, I remember looking for Matt, and then I found him, and then I don't know why I wandered away, and then I went all the way up to the roof. You know, I'd never been up on the roof of 5. I didn't know they had a roof, and I was just wandering around.
Now, at the point when it came that you were leaving Club 5, did you encounter a couple of men?
Yes,
And can you describe what you recall about any conversation you had with them?
yes, extremely loud. And I had decided I, it was time to leave. And so I was looking for Matt, to either let's leave together or get a ride or something. And so I encountered 2 men. It was just, hey, what's up? You know, that type of thing. And then I don't know if I said, I'm looking for my friend Matt, or I don't know how it came up, but they were like, Matt, we know Matt. So I was like, oh, you know Matt? And so it was a quick association. I thought they are good people, so it was, and that was done once I thought they knew Matt. I'm like, where did you see him? They're like, oh, he's up there at the front. And I was like, with my ankle, I wasn't wandering back up to the front, and
And when you say the front, do you mean the front of the dance floor?
yes, the front of the dance floor.
Was it crowded in there?
Yes,
All right. So did you leave then without Matt?
yes,
Okay. And describe. Now, you said your recollection is that you met these two people inside of Club 5.
yes, almost by the bar area.
Okay. And did you walk out with them?
Yes,
Okay. And what, if anything, do you remember about your conversation as you walked out with them?
just friendly banter. I mean, just talking about the night. Then I don't remember a lot of the details. Telling them about, obviously, my ankle. I mean, I was limping, and
You were still limping?
yes, by the time I got on the street, I took off my shoes at some point.
Do you remember any conversation with them about what you'd been doing that night or what you'd been drinking?
Yes, I told them I went to the sake place. I'd never been to a sushi/karaoke bar. I mean, I thought it was pretty much, and just that, my friends were in Adams Morgan. That's Grace and Aaron, because they had come with us and they had left the sushi sake place because they didn't like it. And so they went to Adams Morgan and they wanted me to meet up with them there.
So, when you left Club 5, were you thinking of meeting them there?
Yes, I was thinking either that or go home.
How was your ability to walk when you left Club 5?
It was pretty bad. I mean, I held on to both of them most of the way they helped me. I had no ability to walk for two reasons. My ankle was twisted, but then also, I was falling over drunk. So, I was,
Leaning?
yes, yes, staggering.
You said they were walking with you. They walked you to their car.
Yes,
What conversation did you have with them about where you were going?
I know I told them about my friends in Adams Morgan and that I should meet up with them. And then I also know that, you know, I'd left my car at Grace and Aaron's house. So actually, I didn't. I left it downtown, but I wanted to go back to Grace and Aaron's house to sleep. So, I was telling them, Alexandria, dropped me off.
Did they give did they offer to give you a ride?
Yes, yes. Oh, absolutely, yes.
Now, at this point, when you met them, you had never met these people before.
No,
Were they hitting on you or coming on to you in any way?
no, no. They were very much, I mean, even, helping me to walk because of my ankle and drinking. They were very hands off at the same time, if you can understand that. Like they were very friendly and respectful. I didn't feel like they're hitting on me, like a personal space type thing.
All right. How did they appear as far as their dress and
Very clean cut, you know. They were dressed, handsome. Jackets, a jacket on and a t-shirt, nice jeans. Just really very clean cut and nice.
and you believed that they knew your friend Matt?
Yes,
Did you have any fears about going with them at that point in your state?
no.
Do you remember anything about the car?
It was just four doors, a luxury car. I mean, just really nice car. I just remember, I was drinking to the point where I just remember it was a really shiny car.
All right. Anything about the interior?
Yes, it was like leather seats, black leather.
Okay. Where did you get into the car? Which part?
Shotgun, the passenger side.
Passenger side, front?
Yes,
Who got in the driver's side?
the taller gentleman.
Do you see the person you're referring to as the taller one? Do you see him here in the courtroom?
Yes,
Would you point him out for the court, please?
silver jacket, gray jacket, pinstripe.
And the purple tie?
Yes,
Will the record reflect the witness has identified Mr. Smith and the second gentleman who was with him? Where did he get in the car?
the back seat, pretty much towards the middle, but more behind me.
All right. And do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes,
Would you point him out, please? How did you feel when you got into the car?
relieved to be sitting down. but I mean, just really, I'd been drinking all night.
Where did you go?
We ended up going to get some pita sandwiches somewhere.
And do you remember where you were to get the pita sandwiches?
It took me a while to remember where we had gone. I remember the Georgetown lights, along that main drag in Georgetown. So I think that because I was leaning my head on the car window, listening to music, laughing, talking, you know, but I think it was in Georgetown, whereabouts where we ended up. I mean, they picked the place, so, and I was like, fine with me.
Did you get out of the car and go in with them to the pita place?
Yes,
Do you remember? Describe what went on inside if you remember.
friendly. I'd, it seemed like they'd been there before. They knew the guys behind the counter. I mean, it's a late night pita sandwich joint. I sat down and I just sat down. I just had been drinking a lot. So we got our sandwiches, paid the check, just friendly.
Did you all get the food to go?
Yes,
Do you remember who paid for the food?
I did.
Now, when you got back in the car, you got the food to go. Where were Was there a conversation about where you were going?
Yes, they, they just said their place was just around the corner. It's closer than, my friend's house, you know, and I should just go there.
Did you agree?
Yes, yes.
When you got to wherever they took you, their home, what do you remember about it, beginning with where the car was parked?
We drove in, parked in a parking garage, like a level cement parking garage, and then went upstairs. The hallways were it's like cement floor hallways with doors.
Like an open air hallway
Yes,
with cement floors?
yes, cement floors. Just very much like that modern, simplistic look. And they were like almost on if I recall, I think a corner, like there was four doors in their little corner of the hallway. And you walk in and it's a great apartment. So, you walk in to the left, there's the living room, and then the kitchen's off to the further left. And there's a balcony. You can see the balcony. And then right there is the bathroom and the bedroom.
Okay. Did it appear to be a one bedroom?
Yes, from what I could see, it was a one bedroom.
What did you do when you got inside the apartment?
I sat on the couch,